Until recently, the idea of normal, everyday golfers having their own personal portable launch monitor didn't seem all that viable. They cost too much, right? But now that the technology has become more ubiquitous, the prices have come down, the quality has come up, and there may very well be a personal launch monitor perfectly suited for your game and your budget. It's possible that that launch monitor is this one, the Garmin Approach R10. So today we'll unbox it and take a look. Hello friends, Bill Hobson here. Thank you for joining me as we take a look at the latest entry into the world of personal portable launch monitors. It comes from the folks at Garmin. You know them for their GPS systems, but man, are they making an impact in the game of golf. This Approach R10 is so tiny, yet it packs a lot of powerful features. In just a couple of moments, we will leave the studio and head out to an actual golf course because I don't know how anybody reviews a launch monitor without launching some shots, right? 3, 2, 1. Hi friends, Bill Hobson here. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at the newest entry into the world of personal portable launch monitors. Comes from our friends at Garmin. You know Garmin for their GPS work, but they have begun making some major inroads in the world of golf through distance measuring devices and this little thing called the Approach R10. Now in just a couple moments we are going to take the Approach out to an actual golf course because I have yet to figure out how anybody can do an effective launch monitor review without launching some shots. So we're going to launch some shots here in just a little while. But first, let's open up the box. And just in full disclosure, I opened the box so that I could charge the device up, and I took out some of the bubble wrap and some of the packaging. Other than that though, this is it. This little baby comes in this little box, and as you can see by the size of my hand, all of it is very compact. It's really well presented. So the carrying case has plenty of protection for your device. You got to be careful with these things. There's a lot of technology packed into these launch monitors. And the star of the show makes an appearance right off the bat. I have not yet peeled the plastic off of the screen. I will do that when we get out to the golf course. But this is it. Probably the size of what used to be a beeper on your belt or maybe a flip phone. This is the brains of the operation, the Garmin Approach R10. Now also in the box comes the tripod that mounts on the back of it, and it mounts magnetically. So all you're going to do is take the tripod, stick it right into the port, open up the legs, and it is already set at the angle that they recommend you set it on. I charged this up a bit ago. It's not on right now. I'll fire it up when we get out to the golf course. And then also in this little case are some really thoughtful ideas, all right? Because when you're using the R10, you are always going to be using it with the Garmin mobile app. Well, if you're going to use it with an app and you want to get your feedback, you're going to want your phone to be nearby, and you not want to put it in your back pocket and have to pull it out every time. And so they also include a phone mount, so that you can have your golf bag just off to the side as you're hitting shots. You can have your phone mounted, and we'll show you out at the course. You can have your phone mounted using this clip to your bag as well as the bracket that comes in here. And the only other item within is the charging cord that we all have 48,000 of in our lives. That's really the extent of what is in this package. It's that compact and it's that user-friendly. So how about we leave the studio, head over to the golf course, and I'll take you through setup, pairing. It's a Bluetooth pairing with your phone. We'll download the mobile app, and we'll show you how the Approach R10 works as your own personal portable launch monitor. Okay, we have unboxed the Garmin R10. Now it's time to see how it functions for real. Not in a simulator, not in a studio, but outside. So we have come to a beautiful range at a place called the Sawmill Golf Club in Freeland on a beautiful, sunshiny, but very breezy day. As luck would have it, my end of the range is into the wind. I'm planting that seed as an excuse here early on. Now, one of the challenges and one of the things that I want to accomplish as we demonstrate the Garmin is the reliability of the numbers that it's generating, right? So we want to make sure that it's accurate. So I have brought alongside and set right next to it the FlightScope Mevo Plus, so we can compare and contrast what the numbers are like. So as we come out to get things started, I used the bracket that came with the Garmin to put my cell phone right on the side of my bag, because this is the mobile app that will allow us throughout this range session, as we hit start session, to see exactly what we're doing. Now you can either choose to watch ball flight on that screen. I'm going to go to the data screen. I like to see the numbers come up, and that's also the screen that I have here on the Mevo Plus. Let's hit a few balls. I have an 8-iron in my hand, and I have manually told both apps, both devices, that I'm hitting an 8-iron outside with range balls. That was not terribly well struck.
Carry is 114.5 yards.
Interestingly enough, the Garmin had that carry at 125. The FlightScope had it at 115. Let's see. Try it again. Got that one a little bit heavy.
Carry is 116.5 yards.
Now this one, you may have heard FlightScope said carry was 116, and Garmin got it at 117. Perfectly fine with that. Also, when you set up on the range to use either of these devices, really, remember that they are measuring left and right variances off of the straight line coming out of the device. So there's a red line on the top of the Garmin R10 that you'll want to use to make sure. That's why I set down a club to use sort of as an alignment tool, so that I'm at least starting off on the right line. All right, the wind has died down just a hair. Let's see if we can get one going. That's pretty good. Let's see what that's got. Right on target.
125.5 yards.
25. Now this one, FlightScope said 125. Garmin said 130. Some of the other numbers on there, backspin 7686 on the Mevo, 7700 on the Garmin. It's a very high number, by the way. Let's hit a couple more 8-irons and see how these things compare, and then we'll change up. That was struck pretty well. Not going anywhere because it's windy.
130.5 yards.
130.5 and 134. So there is a little bit of a variance here between the two devices. One more 8-iron, and we'll switch it up. For whatever it's worth, if you can see from the back camera here, my target is the American flag out in the parking lot. Got that one pretty high, but I thought I hit it pretty cleanly.
Carry is 127.9 yards.
27.9 and 127 over on this side. Okay, so let's put away the 8-iron, and let me come to each device and change it up so that we can say driver here. And then I will grab the other tablet. I'm going to switch that up to driver over here. Session's continuing. By the way, the voice that you hear, the computer-generated voice, is coming from the FlightScope. Not hearing that from the Garmin. Okay, same target in place. I've been working on a stronger grip and a little bit more aggressive attack here on the ball. Let's see how we do with club head speed and all that stuff. And by the way, I don't really spend that much time worrying about the distances that are measured on radars, on launch monitors, when I'm using range balls, just so you know. It's not really that important to me because range balls have such a wide variance to them. I mean, these look to be very nice, but they're still balls that have been hit a few million times.
Carry is 205.0 yards. Ready.
The device is pretty much matched, 205 to 207 on the carry there. I'd like to think it was longer, but I'm not exaggerating when I tell you it's extremely windy out here. Driver 2. Hit that one pretty good for me.
Carry is 214.7 yards.
214.7. By the way, somebody at the other end of the range who's hitting downwind seems to be determined to come and get me. I can hear balls landing just a couple feet away. Club head speed 95.8 there, 97 on the Garmin. I won't be confused for a long drive competitor anytime soon, but for me those are like 4 mile an hour improvements, believe it or not. So we've been working on speed and getting through things. We'll see if we can do a little better here. I got through it, but I hit a bit of a hook.
Carry is 206.9 yards. Ready.
I don't think the Garmin got that one very accurately. That carry, those carry distances, the variance there was huge. One more. For the most part, the Garmin is keeping up with the flight scope, which is always good to see. Some of these guys, one of them just rolled a ball right up to my feet. Now that was a bit of a scuff into the ground. I have to go out on a better note than that.
Carry is 187.1 yards.
That was a bad swing. But I am seeing considerable variance between the two launch monitors now. So the Garmin that time said 206. FlightScope said 187. That's a sizable gap, my friends. And by the way, not a very good shot, no matter what the measurement is. One more. Okay, we got through that one okay. Let's see.
Carry is 201.3 yards.
And again, they're off by about 10 yards between the two of them. So there you go. A little bit of a in the field live look at how these devices work. Now remember, the Garmin R10 is a tremendous value. And if you are in kind of the beginning stages and you don't really want to have to dig through and learn what every last data point means, you just want to see club head speed, maybe your attack angle, perhaps the carry distance, I'm going to recommend it to you. It's really good for that. It's very convenient, sets up very quickly. If you're looking to go a little bit further, a little bit deeper into the data, a little bit more involved in what your performance is looking like, then you may want to consider a step up to something like the Mevo FlightScope Plus, or the FlightScope Mevo Plus. I said that wrong, but I meant it correctly in my head. Now I think I'm about to be part of the range picking up exercise, so we'll see you later. Thanks for watching.